Demonstration persisted over the weekend in Portland and Tacoma, where anti-police crowds displayed Antifa messages and described immigration and customs enforcement even after President Biden offered a sweeping immigration overhaul last week. In Tacoma, located 30 miles south of Seattle, at least 150 people gathered at a park before marching through downtowns, where windows were shattered and spray paint was tagged on multiple buildings. Several items were set up to create a barricade in the street, where a large trash was set ablaze. Protesters wore black bloc attire and some carried flags that read "Anti-Fascist Action." The crowd also passed by the Pierce County Jail. Police said officers were observing the protest. 3 people appeared to try to get into the roof of a building downtown. 2 were armed with a handgun and knives and were arrested, and the third got away. There were no known injuries from the demonstration, the Tacoma Police Department tweeted, adding that the demonstration had broken up and the roadways were cleared by 11 p.m. according to local time. The protesters came a day after a video widely circulated online showed a Tacoma police car drive into a crowd gathering in an intersection on Saturday, appearing to run over at least one person. 2 people were injured and went to the hospital, with injuries not believed to be life-threatening. The officer driving has been placed on administrative leave, and the Tacoma Community's Police Advisory Committee scheduled a virtual meeting Monday at 6 p.m. to discuss the incident. The officer, identified as a 58-year-old man who has been with the department for 29 and a half years, had been surrounded by a crowd after responding to a report about a street race where about 100 people were blocking an intersection Saturday night. The police department said people began hitting the body of the cruiser and the officer feared for his safety. The officer drove forward through the crowd and then stopped and called for medical aid. An Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) facility in Portland, Oregon, was once again the target of protesters on Saturday night. Video circulated on social media showed the crowd at one point chanting "No borders, no nations, abolish deportations." Law enforcement officers from the Federal Protective Service were heard declaring an unlawful assembly around 10 p.m. according to local time and ordering the crowd to leave the area. The FPS is a unit of Department of Homeland Security. A recording played that warned that anyone who trespasses on federal property with a weapon will be arrested. Federal law enforcement also deployed tear gas to disperse the crowd. For your kind information, the same ICE building was targeted last Wednesday, hours after the presidential inauguration in Washington, D.C. That night, some members of a crowd of about 150 rioters in Portland caused damage to the ICE building and also marched against the state headquarters of the Democratic Party.